enhancement portfolio that last year was a 3-year bid. That's basically any percentage of the size of the portfolio because of the risk. So it's
Okay, thank you, Don.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. This is Troy, your host. We are live and recording.
Thank you very much, Troy, and good afternoon, everybody. Before we call this meeting to order, we are pleased and honored to have our invocation by Pastor Laura Rainwater. Pastor? Welcome.
Please be in an attitude of prayer that is most comfortable for you. We give thanks for this day, Holy God. We are grateful for the hint of spring in the air, even as we prepare for the winter-like weather to return. We are grateful for so many things, both personal and communal, for the ways we are called together, for the opportunities before us to address the needs and concerns of all in Douglas County. We are especially grateful for our elected officials and their staff who work tirelessly for the benefit of all people. May this time be not just a meeting, but a chance to do the important work that is needed for our county and communities. May each person's voice be lifted up and heard, and may the variety of voices and people in our county be honored and recognized. We offer ourselves to the service of the greater good in all that we think, say, and do. Bless this time together and the work before us. We pray all these things and more this beautiful day. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Rainwater. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. If you'll all rise and join me with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And Attorney Pratt, do we have certification of the agenda today?
Thank you, Commissioners. The Attorney's Office has reviewed all of the items on today's agenda, and they meet legal approval.
Thank you, Attorney Pratt. And do any commissioners have disclosures for items on this agenda today?
I have none, thank you.
No, sir. And I have none either. With that, we will move on to item number 2 in today's business meeting, which is citizen comment, organization comments. At this time, you are very welcome to comment about any topic other than what is scheduled on today's regular agenda. You will be prompted to comment on those items at the appropriate time. This is an opportunity to share your thoughts and ideas with us. If you would state your name and where you reside prior to making comments, you will have up to 3 minutes to make your comments. Commissioner comments, if any, will follow all citizen comments. With that, are there any citizen comments? Yes, ma'am. And if you just want to come to the podium and state your name and where you reside.
Yes, thank you. I would also, I'm Kay Michelson, Highlands Ranch, and I would like to approach the county attorney to have him register some documents. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. I also have a friend, Linda Dawson, who is from Highlands Ranch, who is going to donate to me her 3 minutes. Okay?
You know, it's 3 minutes per citizen. So if you want to go ahead, you're welcome to proceed with your comments, ma'am.
She has donated her 3 minutes to me.
Well, she would like to come up with you.
Would you
Ma'am?
stand here with me?
Kay, talk louder. Yeah, you need
Okay.
Mike.
You can't hear me?
No, so what do we do? Kind of, does it bend? Pardon me?
Okay. Shall I speak louder? Is this better?
Speak really
We can hear you just
Okay.
And
fine.
I can take over and start talking.
Excuse me for, you need to just stand here, I think.
Yeah, sure.
Okay? Ready to go? Okay. When I was a young woman working in Washington, D.C., I'd enter the halls of government with admiration, respect, and honor. Today, facing my grandmother years, I enter this hall of government with disgust, displeasure, and alarm. I never thought a global charm course would have to be taught here to 2 bullies. Abe Layden and George Teal, you claim that you are working for us, but the results don't show the same. As far as we, the people, are concerned, Laura Thomas is the only conservative on this panel, who is tirelessly attempting to keep spending down while the two of you are recklessly ignoring the taxpayer and instead are wasting time focusing on destroying Laura Thomas. Teal and Layden, you are back alley bullies. For 2 years, we witnessed you lobbing misogynistic, caustic cocktails of meanness at the feet of the only commissioner who is working for we the people in Douglas County. You bullies, George Teal and Abe Layden, have done the following. Number one, brought 2 investigations against Laura. With both cases, Laura has been proven not guilty and cleared of any wrongdoing. George and Abe's false allegations have cost the taxpayers thousands. Please go on record, Teal and Layden, why you have done this to a duly elected official. Number 2, Laura has been removed from the Mile High Flood Control District, where she served for 4 years and was appointed treasurer. Laura has been removed from the Northwest Douglas County Economic Development Corporation and the district attorney forfeiture. Teal, her replacement, does not have Laura's law enforcement background. Teal Layden voted to prevent her from attending the General Government Committee at Colorado Counties, Inc., a statewide organization commissioned to lobby legislation for their constituents. They have stripped her of her voting rights at CCI in January. Layden Teal summarily and without valid cause stripped Laura, the most experienced and capable commissioner serving on the board, of her position as commissioner chair, not once, not twice, but 3 times, and have made it unequivocally clear that they will never permit her to again serve as board chair. 6, Teal and Layden stripped her of her historical right to place 2 people on the planning committee. We demand that Laura Thomas be reinstated to all these rights and position and be regarded as an honored peer. We demand that the legal bills she was forced to incur as a result of the irresponsible and reckless accusations made against her be paid by Teal and Layden. We demand that the unprofessional mudslinging by Teal Layden stop immediately and permanently. Laura was investigated not once but twice under the direction of Teal Layden. After 2 failed investigations, it clearly shows you're trying to shoot bullets but are only shooting blanks. Why don't we flip the script and investigate Teal Layden? Further, have either of you tried to stop and find out who is sending these cowardly, unsigned, defamatory postcards attacking Laura Thomas? It's a fact that since 1734, there are anti-defamation laws in the United States, and as far as we know, neither Teal nor Layden have been defamed in this way. Here are some of the cards. This is a good one. We need a new commissioner. No, we need 2 new commissioners. Here's another one, calling Love Seat Laura. Do you know the first time that title came to the surface? It appeared on Facebook, December of 2021, when Laura Thomas was running for sheriff. It was posted by Laura S. Teal. Fact. We the people are watching George Teal and Abe Layden, and we are appalled at your outrageous, egregious conduct wholly unbecoming of 2 elected officials. You are systematically attacking Laura Thomas and trying to pull the rug out from under her. You do not realize that we, the people, are standing on that rug with Laura Thomas. You cannot and we will not allow you to pull that rug out from under we, the people. This is supposedly a civilized society. Find a mediator or a psychologist so that you can represent us honorably. America is destroying itself with COVID mandates, open borders, failed wars, race baiting, phony news, shadow governments, deep state conspiracies, political and social divisions, corrupt electors, and you bullies are unprofessionally tossing hand grenades at the only commissioner who is fighting for us. Ronald Reagan said, evil is powerless if the good are unafraid. Evil is powerless if the good are unafraid. You, Teal Layden, have abandoned the principles for which you were elected. We are not afraid of you, and it's not okay what you're doing. Thank you. 7 seconds now.
Thank you, Deb, for your comments. Further public comment? Further public comment? Yes, ma'am. If you want to just state your name and where you reside, please.
Good afternoon. It is a joy and a privilege to come here today. We are so grateful to live in a free country. So thank you so much for this opportunity that you have given me. I'd like to speak today in support of Laura Thomas, one of the most brilliant,
Ma'am,
caring
if you could just
public
state
figures
your
I've
name
met.
and where you're from.
I'm
Could you
sorry?
just state your name for the
Oh,
record
yes.
and where you're from?
My name is Cindy Lepsinski. That's spelled Lepzinski. I live at 6140 Puma Point. Is that all you need from me?
Thanks, ma'am. Yes, no, I appreciate it.
Okay, all right, thanks. I'm here to speak. Laura Thomas truly fights for us, the citizens of Douglas County. I respect her intellect, I respect her fiscal responsibility, and for being the conservative voice on the board. Yet she has experienced unrelenting attacks and antagonism from 2 of the members of her team. I often pray for her strength and tenacity, as I am sure just coming to work every day must be a tremendous challenge for her. I understand that recently our 2 male commissioners have unwisely and unnecessarily removed her from several committees and long-time positions. This not only reeks of misogyny, but it's a dangerous course of action for our county. Additionally, we have seen sheer waste of thousands of taxpayers' dollars in frivolous litigation. Today, I have 3 simple requests. Please treat Laura as a respected peer. Please reinstate her to all positions from which she has been stripped. And I also believe that Abe Layden and George Teal should do the right thing and reimburse the taxpayers for Laura's legal bills brought about by their false allegations. On 6 different occasions, I have received those childish, libelous, anonymous postcards vilifying Laura and making false, unfounded accusations about her character and her actions. We don't know who sent these trash because they don't have the gumption to identify themselves. They may be Democrats trying to divide us, or they may be some rather immature players sitting closer to home. Considering what we know today, it would be easy to jump to conclusions that are unthinkable. Proverbs 6:16 through 19 tells us 7 things that God hates and are detestable to him. Those are a lying heart that devises wicked schemes, feet that are quick to rush into evil, a false witness who pours out lies, a person who stirs up conflict in the community. It goes without saying that you reap what you sow. In the mistreatment of Laura, we see many deeds that are prompted by envy and the desire for power. We see the sowing of destruction and discord. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for your comments, ma'am. Yes, sir. You're welcome to come up, sir. Did you have a comment, sir?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good afternoon. Thanks for the opportunity to speak. My comments will be short because it couldn't have been said any better by these ladies. I thought the most dysfunctional body, quasi-governmental body on the planet had been the Douglas County School Board as of 2 years ago. It's unfortunate that I believe, and as many of these people do, that this body has taken the #1 place. You are not doing right by the citizens of Douglas County in any way, shape, or form. And I'll just address the elephant in the room because I have heard both of you gentlemen spew the vicious vitriol and venom of all of these cards that I've received in the mail some of these are direct quotes from what I've heard from you two. So I'll just address the elephant. Do either of you two have any idea who sends these out, who the gutless coward, the low-life scumbag, doesn't have the cojones to say where they came from? Do either of you have any idea?
So, sir, I'll have some very direct commissioner comments following public comment, but if you want to wrap up your comments.
Okay. I will do that. I'll take that as a maybe.
Oh, I'll speak
Or
directly to that.
whether you two are directly involved in any way whatsoever. I've known Commissioner Thomas for quite some time, and I agree with these ladies and probably the majority of this crowd. She's well thought out. She's fiscally responsible. And I know, in fact, I'm officially withdrawing my nomination by Commissioner Thomas for the Planning Commission, because this isn't the first time I've been up here, and I know you two won't approve it. Just because you despise her so much, it's wrong, and I think you need to get your act together. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments, sir. Any additional citizen comment? Yep. Welcome, ma'am. If you want to just state your name and where you reside.
Yes, thank you very much. My name is Cynthia Dalton, and I reside at 9660 Kings Mill Lane, Lone Tree. I am here today to support our distinguished County Commissioner, Laura Thomas. I am appalled at the unjust and unprofessional treatment that Laura has endured by her fellow commissioners George Teal and Abe Layden. Laura was elected as Douglas County Commissioner in 2016 and was re-elected for a second term by a whopping 18%, a tremendous show of support by citizens. And let's not forget Laura's courageous leadership in 2020 during the pandemic that earned our county accolades throughout Denver Metro as she mitigated the negative effects of lockdowns and removed mask mandates before most other counties. As a problem solver, she has steered the commission to replace the Tri-County Health Board. She has established a new judicial district, solved transportation, public health, and water problems, and resolved council's other issues. In fact, this is an interesting point. Her effective has been so highly valued that many did not want her to run for sheriff prior to completing her term. Today, Douglas County's reputation has been dramatically tarnished due to the ongoing childish and bullying behavior by Abe and George as they team up votes against Laura and make slanderous and libelous accusations. They have unseated Laura as chair of the commission and from multiple boards and committee. It begs the question, why? What is their intent? To be very honest, something seems fishy. Their actions are an embarrassment to Douglas County and are disenfranchising the citizens that voted for her. To Laura's credit, she has continued to persevere for our citizens despite this harassment. Laura consistently shows up on time, prepared, and responds to citizens' emails. She's totally transparent with her detailed weekly newsletters, and she always asks the question if a proposal is the role of county government, looking to save citizens and taxpayers money. I do not know what legal action can be taken to stop this insanity. A recall? I can tell you that in the next elections, voters will not forget. Meanwhile, I ask that Laura be reinstated to all positions that have been stripped from her. I ask George and Abe to treat Laura professionally and respectfully, and that George and Abe reimburse taxpayers for her legal expenses. Finally, I'm asking that an investigation again be conducted to identify the source of these libelous, defamatory mailers that are circulating among voters in the county. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your comments. Further citizen comment? Yes, sir.
So my name is Pete Smith. I live in Keene Ridge. welcome, Chris. I hope the hell you know what you got yourself in for, because you're going to be busy. So I'm the guy that during a commissioners meeting in their conference room, in which they had an unmuted microphone, asked them to grow up and become citizens. By the way, George, could you sit up a little bit so we can see you? All we see is like your hair on the top of your head. I was hoping that, and it was actually broadcast by CBS that night. I was hoping that might have some effect, but it obviously did not. So, as you all know, Mandy Connell recently changed parties. I changed parties back in December, mostly due to the acts of these people, and didn't want to be involved in the same party that they were. So, I'll take another little tack here. So, recently the CDC came out with this statistic that 13% of teenage girls attempt suicide every year. 13%. That bothers me because I have 3 teenage granddaughters, so I'm concerned about that. Recently, Mr. Teal gave a little speech to some of us, in which he was touting the fact that they saved $1 million on the health department, which I think is great. So now I'm asking, take that $1 million and put it back into mental health. Build a facility, provide scholarships for people to come and work at that facility and do the right thing, okay? Mental health is the biggest problem we have in this country. It's at the formation of homelessness, drug addiction, and everything else that goes on in this country. So, and I would think this might be a good idea for you folks, because after your tenure on this board, mental health might be something you need. The last thing I would ask is for Mr. Teal to stand up today and apologize for his wife calling Laura Thomas a whore. Could you do that, George? You did it. She did it. And she wouldn't apologize to me, and you wouldn't apologize to me. Would you do it now? I've got another 49 seconds left. I'll stand here and wait. Can you do it, George? Can you find it in your heart to apologize to somebody who you insulted and called a whore? Can you, George?
Sir, if you want to wrap up your comments.
I am wrapping up my comments, Abe. I have 30 seconds left. I have my right of
This
First
isn't your time
Amendment.
to ask questions,
Right.
sir.
And
If you want to
can't
make
shut
your
me down.
comments,
You're
we
not
will have a
shutting me down,
response.
Abe. You're not shutting me down.
Resign right now.
Come on, George. Stand up and say you're sorry for your wife, what your wife said. I can't believe it. I mean, if I called your wife a whore, would that be fighting words? Not going to say it. It's a shame, George. You could be better.
Additional citizen comment.
Hi, my name is Lori Verpucci. I live in Parker, Colorado. I'm a longtime resident and voter in Douglas County. I'm here today to express my thoughts on the behavior of our commissioners over the past 2 years. I personally have been appalled and embarrassed at the things I have read about, such as name-calling, alienating, and just plain bullying. It is not appropriate behavior, and I would be here to speak up, no matter which one of you that this was happening to. I truly wonder how I or anyone will be able to vote for you in any future election for any office unless something changes. I was happy when I heard that there would be some people speaking here today about this, because I have been wishing that there was something that we could do to make this stop. I am here today to appeal to you. This behavior needs to stop. I don't know why this all started, and I simply don't care. What you need to remember is that the voters of Douglas County voted for all 3 of you, not only 2 of you. By 2 excluding 1 from participation in chair and committee responsibilities, you have single-handedly decided that our votes do not matter. Well, our votes do matter. You need to check your personal issues at the door and take care of county business with the inclusion of all 3 commissioners at their full capacity. I implore you to please, 1, stop the name-calling, to actually call one of your peers a cancer, or to call her unintelligent, all of which are not true, by the way, is an insult to all of your constituents who know it is not true and had voted for her, and it makes you look stupid. Do not prevent Laura Thomas from participating in any committee that she, as commissioner, has a right or obligation to participate in. You cannot split up all the committees between the two of you. Who do you think you are? This is not a dictatorship, and she is an elected commissioner. Allow Laura to serve as chair. She has the most experience of all of you as a commissioner and otherwise, and she has earned that right by serving her time as commissioner for over 6 years. And we, the voters, deserve to have her serve as chair. Why is it that Laura is no longer permitted to delegate two individuals to a planning committee or to any committee? Who decided this? Why do you think you have the right to do this? And do you see that your motives are actually in question here? Lastly, Laura needs to be reimbursed for her legal bills that she incurred defending against false claims made by the two of you. Frankly, it should come out of your salaries, but I will settle for taxpayer funds. Thank you for your time and consideration and allowing me to speak today.
Thank you, Ms. Rapucci. Further citizen comment? And if you do have citizen comment, if you want to just line up here at the podium, we can just go one after the other, please. Yes, sir, if you want to just state your name and where you're from.
Hi, my name is Michael Campbell. I'm up here in the Meadows in Castle Rock. And I thought I'd give Mr. Teal a chance to apologize again. I've done a couple core requests because I wanted to learn what was transpiring. And I'm just going to play a recording. I hope we can all hear it, of what transpired in just a couple of minutes. One meeting. I'm sure this happens time and again.
Pay attention, or to stop playing the somebody has to lose in order for you to win game during sport. Without that, I'm interested in pursuing punitive action where an outside authority can actually identify misconduct. That's what I'm interested in. I don't know, I'm not ready right now to give clear direction on that subject. You know, but yeah, and by the way, we shouldn't rush into that. Chair, this is not something we should rush into. This is obviously straying into very serious issues of continuous misconduct. Or you just don't pay attention, or you lack the intellectual capability to actually function as a part of this body. To this state.
Don't pay attention. Don't have the intellectual capability to function as a part of this party. That is egregious. It goes on. It goes on.
The game, we do need to consider moving on with, work. Commissioner Thomas?
Work.
So unless Commissioner Thomas would like to make more speeches, I would like to ask
You've seen copies of that information, yet you're ready to release that without even seeing it. So no, I'm not ready to make a decision.
It goes on like that for close to 20 minutes, where these two, pardon my French, little Napoleon jackasses do nothing but berate, insult, misogyny. It is the most horrible colleague work thing I have ever seen. And I watched it over again. And Teal was complaining that all Laura Thomas did was ask a follow-up question. And he insists that it was answered. I watched that video 3 or 4 times. It was a legitimate question. It was not brought up. I think if anybody was going to accuse anybody of being stupid, I think calling an elected official stupid on a public recording, that's what is the problem. I want you to grow up, treat her like a respected peer. We don't live in a Central American banana republic. Neither one of you are Napoleon, although I think both of you act as if you're more egotistical than him. And I just want you to respect. I don't agree with Laura all the time. I actually agree with you two sometimes. But it's treat her like a grown-up, like a woman, and like a colleague.
Thank you for your comments, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Hello?
Welcome. If you just want to state your name and where you're From?
Beverly Carson. I'm from Perry Park, 4917 Chippewa Drive. I've lived there for 60 years. Douglas County has really used to be a terrific county till you two became enemies of we the voters. Laura was elected to represent us, the voting residents. However, two commissioners, Layden and Teal, have done everything in their power to counteract any and everything Laura tries. You are bullies. I guess you've been told that many times now. Laura is fiscally responsible, and that seems to really tick you guys off. You love to spend our tax dollars. If the money's there, you want to spend it. And Laura says, hey, back off. Let's see if we really need to. Oh, no. Therefore, you hate Laura's guts. My question to both of you, and you're going to answer it later, is that right? What causes your animosity to Laura? So you're going to answer our questions afterwards? Are you going to answer my question now?
Ma'am, we will have commissioner comments following citizen comment. Absolutely.
What does that mean? Interpret that.
That means that everything that has been said by everyone here will absolutely be addressed, and I think to your satisfaction.
Oh, you're going to answer questions.
I think we're going to have a comment, and we're going to address your issues, ma'am, if you want to wrap up your comments.
I still have time to talk.
You do, but I think you're, okay, please proceed.
What?
Please proceed with your comments, ma'am. You have another 52 seconds.
Okay, I'm totally irritated with you guys. You guys interfere with the successful running of our county. We used to be a wonderful county. You guys have come in and you've tried to destroy our county. And I think it's because follow the money. Somewhere along the way, there's money involved, developers involved, and things like that. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Additional citizen comment. Is there any additional citizen comment?
I have 3 handouts from the
My name is Dennis Munt, spelled M-U-N-D-T, and I live in Parker. I'm a member of the Child Protective Services Parent Advisory Board. One of the commissioners stated, as a commissioner, our role is to help hold Congress accountable to you, the taxpayers. So, I'm beginning with proposed House Bill 1160. The Child Protective Services system works as long as the accused is provided legal due process and their 4th and 14th Amendments are not violated. House Bill 1160 has many civil rights safeguards, including provisions for a longer time period for a person to examine and rebut a Department of Human Services accusation. House Bill 1160 acknowledges that sometimes agents of Child Protective Services intentionally provide false testimony and false affidavits to judges. The Board of Commissioners are also the board of the Department of Human Services. As listed on the county website, the commissioners are to provide leadership and, under state statute, are responsible for administering and carrying out virtually all of its programs. The public hearing guide states, testimony should be based on your own knowledge or experience. So I am sharing the following. Not only was I chosen by the Department of Human Services to be a member of the Child Protective Services Parent Advisory Board, but I have also gone through the system. The county's legal discovery documents detail that I was falsely accused of child abuse by my ex-wife. It's possible that I'm on the Parent Advisory Board because the documents also detail that the caseworker intentionally withheld exonerating evidence and provided false testimony and false affidavits to the judge. My son was taken away by the caseworker and 2 armed police officers. During the first 3 months, I was not allowed any contact with my son. The process ended 1.5 years later. I now have full custody and his mother moved to another state. However, the pain and the damage are ongoing. It's apparent there are condoned civil rights violations within Child Protective Services. In fact, known violators are being promoted. Multiple people have provided civil rights violation documentation to both the county commissioners and to the Department of Human Services. In full transparency, with House Bill 1160, I'm providing copies of my and my son's civil rights complaint, case number 123-CV-00051. Please note page 17. I ask that you support House Bill 1160 and also correct the systemic civil rights violations occurring within Child Protective Services. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, sir. Appreciate it. Additional citizen comment? Yes, ma'am.
Della Grando, I live in Red Hawk, Castle Rock. I'm here to give a shout out to George Teal. Now, Commissioner Teal has helped me several times this week in the civic organization. In fact, for the LE celebration to come up in May. And Laura Thomas is part of that, as a matter of fact. She's a retired state trooper. State major, as a matter of fact. But I want everyone to know I support all 3 commissioners. I voted for all 3 commissioners, and I know most of you all did too. But the commissioners represent everybody, every party, every citizen. You don't even have to be a voter. They still represent you in every way possible. And I really, really appreciate and thank each commissioner for what they do, and I know they bring their own strengths and they're also their weaknesses. Now, my question to Laura is, Laura, do you know why you are not the chair to be rotated with the other 2 commissioners? Do you know the answer to that?
So Della, like everybody else's questions, we will all answer those at the end of citizen comment. So we're not using your time.
So it's not because the 2 gentlemen are bullies or because Abe said so or whatever. That's not the reason why you're not the chair. From what I understand, the chair can only be appointed by the board itself. We, the people, do not have a choice. I think it's in the state constitution that only the board can choose who the chair is. So if they have chosen the chair, it may be because we as voters trusted them as a board, as a group, to choose who they thought would show good leadership skills and trust. Now, it may be, I hate to say this, but did you show leadership skills when you were the chair? And I know you've been the chair because I've been in several of these meetings. You have been the chair and you have rotated with them. I don't know the answer to that, but I don't feel that it's a bully thing. I don't think it's a sexist thing. You worked with men all your life. Even on the state police department, there had to be 90% men there, right?
So Della, our process is that citizens comment and then the commissioners individually respond afterwards. So I need to follow the process. So this is your time to give testimony before the board.
Okay. All right, well, that's all my time is up, but anyhow, I appreciate and thank each and every one of you, and I support all of you, and I think we need to support our commissioners more. Tax time is coming up in 2024, and these commissioners will probably help us with our tax burden that we're going to be stuck with, a 40% increase. All right, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate you. Additional citizen comment.
Can you hear me? I got to
Yes.
stay on my toes. My name is Tony Smith, and I'm in Castle Rock. And my observation, like this previous lady just said, I voted for all three of you. And I have agreed with many of the things that Laura's done. I've agreed with some of what Abe and George have said and done. I also think that it takes two to tangle. And I do think that there's probably issues, personal issues among the three of you, and there may be very viable reasons why there's the animosity and the attitude that there is. We're not privy to that. The point is this has gone on for months and months and months, and I don't think it's going to get any better. I would like to know what the process would be for appointing a committee chair that is not one of the three of you. Now, I've asked a little bit of questions. I think I even mentioned it to George, and he mentioned that, if I'm not mistaken, Douglas County is not a home rule state, and it has to be a home rule state in order to be able to do this. But I don't think we need 5 commissioners, then it's just 5 personalities to deal with. But I do think there has to be a way that there can be a non-partial committee chair that can listen to which one of you is better suited to be on which board and let that person thrive rather than having a personality issue. That's just my comment. I don't know if it's going to get any better, but you have to have a way to figure this out. And a committee chair that is impartial might be an answer to that. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your comments. Appreciate that. Any additional citizen comment? Any additional citizen comment? Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Michelle Campbell. I'm from Castle Rock here. So this is the second meeting that I've been to now with you guys, and I just want to say this has to be like the best example of misogyny I've ever seen in my life with you two. It is insane. But we all know what's going on. We all know where those flyers are coming from, right? I have Teal's wife is legendary with all of her threats. We all know that. And we all know that this isn't going to get any better until you two are gone.
Louder.
We all know it's not going to get any better until the boys are gone.
Right.
I mean, we would ask that you would be mature and do your job like you're supposed to, but obviously you won't because you're never going to change. My biggest concern is the reason you two are doing this, the reason you're stripping her authority, the reason you're taking her off of all of the decisions and all of the different boards. What are you two trying to get done? What are you two doing behind the scenes, like with the homeless encampment that nobody knew about, that you two are doing behind the scenes? That's my biggest concern. Because we can't trust these guys, obviously. They have not, they don't even deserve to be up on this panel, but unfortunately they will be. But that's my biggest concern. What are you guys up to? What are you doing behind the scenes without her knowledge? And by the way, there's a reason that there's 3 of you and not 2 of you. It's for situations like this. You guys were not putting Laura Thomas into her position. It's us. It is the people. You are all on the same level. You two are not God, and that's how that is. So grow up. I mean, seriously, it's pathetic. Abe walks around in his boy jeans, and you walk around like you're some kind of king. It's pathetic. Grow up.
Additional citizen comment? Yes, sir.
Russ Maneri, Perry Park. As I've been watching this situation unfold for the last, I don't know how long, 6 months, year, it's gotten more and more pitched. One of the best lessons I ever learned, and I've been the head of sales for some pretty major organizations. One was the Inc. 500 #1 company based in Boulder. I got into a little tiff with one of my coworkers. And I have to admit, in retrospect, that it was petty on my part and petty on the other person's part. It was all about turf and what we thought was right, and we needed to have our own way. And so the CEO called I and this other person, who shall remain nameless, into his office. And he listened to each of us for a little bit, and then he said, you know, here's the situation. You two either settle it between yourselves or you're both fired. Right. Now get the hell out of my office. Pardon my French. So we both left the office, and right outside his office looked at each other and said, wow, that was pretty plain. And so we had a discussion, decided to put our personal differences aside, and the company continued to be very successful because we were doing things that were, honestly, from my perspective, I have to admit, were counterproductive to the greater good. Here's something that I would suggest to all involved. I think we need statesmanship rather than partisanship. I think this needs to be for the common good rather than personal. And I really hope and wish that we, the people, the voters, don't have to fire some or all of you. We are the boss in this situation. You are not. You are elected representatives that should be doing the business of the people. And I don't see that happening. So I would ask all of you to put your personal differences aside and please stop this so that Douglas County is not the laughing stock of this state. It's getting media attention. That's not appropriate. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Additional comment? Additional citizen comment?
Hello. My name is Deborah Sherwood. I live at 12061 North 6th Street in Parker. Been a resident of Douglas County for 35 years, and I have never seen the county, the Board of County Commissioners operate like it is currently. We don't have town hall meetings anymore, and I really think they're appropriate before decisions are made to haul water out of St. Louis Valley. Ask the citizens. I think you had input, and they said, no, just curb development. Stop letting or building so many places to fill up with outsiders. We don't have enough water for eternity. And the other question I had was, did anyone on the board contact the state of Colorado? They're the ones in control of our water. I would think they would want to know how many gallons were planned to be shipped in from down south. That's a heck of an expense, and it's not necessary. The other thing is, you work for us. We elected you, but we also have the power and the capability to have a recall of any commissioner that's not doing their job and not doing it to our liking. When have you had a town hall to talk about the homeless shelter? When have you had a meeting about water? And I mean, there's 1,000 other things too. But you need to involve the people in the county, and if you can't, we want to elect leaders who can. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Additional citizen comment? Any additional citizen comment? Troy, do we have any citizen comment online?
Thank you, Commissioner. I have no online comment.
Okay, and with that, I will close citizen comment and bring it back to the board for any comments from commissioners.
better being apologized, to the person.
Sir, you've had an opportunity to speak. Now's the opportunity for the commissioners to respond, okay? I am going to ask for order. I am going to ask, you have a reputation in this hearing room, sir, of speaking out of line without professionalism and out of order, and I will have you removed if you cannot act in a professional and civil manner. I'm going to open it up for commissioner comment.
Is this professional?
Point of order.
None for you.
Point of order.
Is this professional?
Any additional commissioner comment?
So I'd like to thank you for being here. This was hard for me to listen to. I'm sorry that it has come to all of this. But what I really want you all to know is that I heard what you all said. I hope my fellow commissioners heard what you all said as well. And many of you, and even citizens when I'm out and about, will say to me, I pray for you, and I appreciate you standing up for us. And I just want to thank you for that, because I feel those prayers. It is hard for me to come to work some days. Today I was told that I was bananas and that I need to stop standing on my soapbox and yelling into the abyss where no one is listening. But I'm going to keep standing up for you, the citizens, because I'm doing what I believe is right in making sure that what we do is the role of government and protecting your taxpayer dollars. And I was asked a question about why I'm not the chair, and I think that question needs to be directed to my two fellow commissioners, because we used to rotate the chair. Every year when I first became a commissioner, every year we rotated the chair. And Roger Partridge stopped that tradition in 2020. And then I was made the chair in January of 21, and then April of 21. That's almost 2 years ago, when we had a group in the hearing room because my fellow commissioners wanted to censure me. And I still don't understand. It was something about an email that was sent from my work computer. But that's how long this has been going on, is 2 years. And staff sits at the table with us and hears these comments that are made to me that I'm bananas and I need to get off my soapbox and stop yelling into the abyss because no one is listening. So my pledge to you is that I will continue doing my job. I will be continuing to come to work on time, prepared, and standing up for you, the citizens of Douglas County, because you're the ones that elected us to serve you. This is a republic. And again, I appreciate you being here. I've heard what you said, and I hope my fellow commissioners did as well. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Commissioner Teal?
I do want to thank Mr. Munt for bringing this forward.
Anything additional, Commissioner Teal? Okay. Well, I do have a lot of comments, and I'm actually very, very thankful that each and every one of you are here. What I heard again and again is absolutely true. You are the boss, not the other way around. I've been doing this job for 5 years. I have seen this gallery be turned into a circus for personal political gain, and it is incredibly disappointing that the work of the county cannot be the focus of this Board of County Commissioners. I want to be really clear. I am a big supporter of exceptional, good, strong people, especially women, that do a phenomenal job in our community. I'm looking at one right here, Laura Leary, runs our Human Services Department. We work really well with Laura Leary. She's amazing. She's a good person. She's good at what she does. I'm looking at Ruby Richards in our Human Services Department. Janet Herman, who runs our Public Works and Engineering. Public Works and Engineering for our entire county. I've never had a crossword with any of these women ever, and neither has George Teal. We work really well with men and women in this county that are good and professional and civil and engage in a way that is respectful. And that is all we have ever asked, is for respect and civility out of this Board of County Commissioners. You know, I do have some additional comments, and I will share them with you now. I'm a man of my word. I have nothing to hide. I'm very honest. And I also don't care about me or this. I take the work very seriously, but I don't take myself very seriously. I actually think Laura Thomas is incredibly organized, incredibly capable. She has a lot of thoughts and power and significance in ways in which she can move the needle that can be incredibly powerful. We've worked well together to ensure that we provided enough dollars to rectify our transportation situation in the entire county. We generated over $211 million through a ballot measure. Together, we did that for you by redirecting funds without raising taxes. We have reduced the mill levy on an annual basis at a record-setting level to return your dollars back to you. That's a $1.25 million reduction in property taxes that we don't have to do. We do it because we don't pay ourselves back. We want to pay you. We are all conservative Republicans passionate about the work of this county, and that's what we need to be focused on. I want to be very clear. So I am humbled by the honor to serve as your commissioner, and I have been deeply proud of the work that you and I have done together for the last 5 years. So some specifics are upholding your Second Amendment rights, declaring this a constitutional county, supporting veterans, keeping businesses and schools open during the COVID-19 pandemic, creating our own Douglas County Health Department. That wasn't one commissioner, that was all three of us, creating your own Douglas County Health Department to keep you and your family safe. We've prevented wildfires throughout Douglas County by increasing support for public safety. We've improved roads, and we have reduced homelessness in Douglas County by 46%. That is the work that we need to be focused on, and I share your frustration. I don't want this to be the National Enquirer or Us Weekly or some soap opera. We need to focus on the work of the county. As your commissioner, I try to make it a point to conduct myself with decorum and not engage in silly, personal, political attacks that serve no purpose other than to erode confidence in our government. With that in mind, sir, you've had your opportunity to speak, and if you speak out one more time, I will ask to have you removed. All right, we're going to take a brief recess. We do need to have this individual removed if you're violating order right now. Okay, sir, we're going to take a brief recess.
I've heard enough of this nonsense from you, Abe.
You can, sir. You're welcome to do that.
With respect, yes.
This woman will get whatever she wants when she starts acting with respect. And I will tell you, for 20 years, whether it's the coroner's office, state patrol, the sheriff's office, or here, Laura Thomas has had a conflict with people in her organization. And I am sorry, but you all have been lied to. Sir, this is not the time for public comment. I listened to you. This is the opportunity for county commissioners to respond. Sir, you are out of order, sir. I'm going to ask you to leave the hearing room right now. You are out of order. You are out of order, sir. No, this is not the time for public comment, and I will keep order in this hearing room. You are out of order. I'm going to ask the sheriff's office to get involved, please. Thank you, sir. Ma'am, this is not the time for public comment. This is the time for order. We all listen to you. We are going to respond. Yeah, okay. Are we going to have an opportunity to have order in here? Okay, thank you very much. I'll call it back to order and finish my comments. We did listen to each of you, so I would appreciate the opportunity to respond. The unvarnished truth, the straight talk from this board is that Commissioner Thomas has been remarkably difficult to work with. Douglas County deserves a commissioner from District 3 that doesn't regularly antagonize our staff and your fellow citizens with kooky stunts, temper tantrums, and childish antics. There is too much important work to be done for you in the future of Douglas County to have these kinds of distractions. Douglas County residents deserve a commissioner from District 3 who doesn't spend a majority of her time and energy as commissioner seeking to undermine fellow Republicans with whom she may disagree. In terms of the Douglas County Sheriff's race, it is Commissioner Thomas's race, and that was lost, not anyone else's fault. Yet she remains determined to settle a score that has long passed her by. At their core, that's all that these vendettas and petty daily dramas are about. It's a lost sheriff's race. It's the fact that when I did not come on board, I didn't agree with everything that she said. In the meantime, Commissioner Thomas has wasted thousands in taxpayer dollars by forcing the board to address issues such as attacking first responders and sharing their names publicly for her own personal political gain, leaking confidential documents to the press, putting kids at risk by disclosing confidential physical school security technology in violation of our agreement with the Douglas County Board of Education, and having antagonistic conversations with board appointees and interfering with their meetings. These actions are not in keeping with the goals, decorum, or purpose of the Board of County Commissioners. This is not an entitlements board, and no one is entitled to board support just because. Commissioner Thomas has lost the trust of her board and her coworkers on multiple occasions for multiple years and has demonstrably failed to represent the county well in the public space, resorting to constant clumsy attempts to undermine fellow Republicans, including her own board, which has done irrevocable damage to her own credibility. This is why she was removed from those board appointments. If we receive more negative feedback from the board members that she serves with, from the community, from business colleagues, from other people in this building where we're operating, we don't have another choice than to remove her from additional boards. It's also unfortunate to know that many well-intentioned individuals have fallen prey to these games and are being lied to. I will give you my direct cell phone number, and you can call or text me directly anytime. I don't need any formality. I work for you, and I will give you the simple truth on any issue. My phone number is 720-255-9161. Again, it's 720-255-9161. You can text me or call me anytime. Commissioner Thomas has been quoted about how she can't seem to figure out how to, quote, break the logjam with George and Abe. So she has resorted to running misleading bills and complaining to the media with fake news. But it's quite simple. Earn the trust and confidence of those with whom you serve. You can disagree all day. That's why we have 3 commissioners. But do so with civility, respect, and professionalism. We each sit on 12 to 15 boards apiece. George and I don't have problems on any of those other boards with anybody. We just disagree respectfully. And so I ask with an open call to Commissioner Thomas, Laura, in the larger scheme of things, we agree on far more than we disagree. It's time to put this nonsense behind us. Sit down with George and I and have an honest and frank discussion how we can get back to the important work we have to do for the people of Douglas County. You all are invited, and they deserve better. And I'll tell you, sir, I had nothing to do with those mailers. I've never run a negative campaign in my life. I don't know. I don't support negative campaigns. I'm asking Laura for a civil discussion. Any additional commissioner comment?
I would just like to ask, you've made a lot of allegations about me for the last 2 years. Do you have any evidence to support anything that you have accused me of?
Everything that we've just listed, we have discussed it. We've discussed at length in our public work sessions. And by the way, we did have a woman come up and ask for more public work sessions and town halls. We have had 68 live town halls with thousands of citizens over the last 2 years, 68. Every single one of our work sessions is recorded, it's transcribed, we are accountable, we're probably the most accountable government in the state. So we are committed to that transparency, and if you want to hear more, I invite you into the discussion if Laura's willing to have it, and that can be a public discussion.
Okay, once again, Abe, I'm asking you for evidence of the allegations that you have made against me.
Yes, it was very clear, and actually our county council just recently provided a legal memoranda clearly stating that you did not have the right to release privileged documents that were privileged to the board to the press. We have a legal document from our county council, so you are not absolved of anything, even though these wonderful people have been told that you have. So that's one example. If you want another example of evidence, We have 500 people at a Republican assembly that witnessed you throw first responders like that amazing gentleman in the back under the bus for your personal political gain. I find that disgusting, and I still do.
So once again, Abe, you can
500
defame me with all the words you want to, but
You
do
asked
you
me
have
for
any
evidence. I'm walking
evidence
through.
that I did something illegal? Just because you don't like it doesn't mean it is illegal.
Nobody, male or female, on any of the 15 boards I sit on has done any of the things I've listed off. For us to waste the public's time and ours dealing with your drama is inappropriate, and it's a waste of their taxpayer dollars.
Okay,
What I
I'm not
have asked you
talking
to
about
do-
people that you sit on boards with. I am asking
Yeah.
you directly for evidence of what
I have
you
just
are
given you
accusing.
two examples.
You had no evidence of those things.
I have 500 people at an assembly that saw your flyers, your letter defaming first responders.
Have you heard of the First Amendment? I have the right to share public information, even if you don't like it.
Putting kids at risk by sharing physical school security details is a patent violation of the agreement we had with our Board of Education.
Okay, you're changing the
Right.
subject.
No, we had 500 people at an assembly that saw what you did. So we're going to have, if you want to have a civil discussion about how to move forward, I'm always open to that, and I've asked you that for 5 years. So instead of talking to, 400,000 people we represent with lies, how about you talk to the 2 people that you work with and engage in a civil discussion? Listen, I don't know what it means to be a female, but I do know what a jerk is, and we don't need any of those in Douglas County. We don't need that here. We need civil, professional people that engage with the type of decorum that these people expect. It's time for you to own your behavior. So, yeah, sir, I think you are being seen out. Any additional comment from our Board of County Commissioners?
Would you allow rebuttal?
Any additional comments from Board of County Commissioners? Okay, with that, we are going to move on to our consent agenda. Do we have any citizen comment with regard to our consent agenda? Troy, do we have any citizen comment online?
Thank you, Commissioner. I have no online comment.
Okay, and with that, I'll close citizen comment and bring it back to the board for any further discussion and/or a motion.
I have a motion to approve the request in all items A through AD of the consent agenda.
Second.
So we have a first and second on the floor. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, and that motion carries. So with that, we will move on to item 4 for our business meeting today. And in item 4A, we have Business Personal Property Tax Incentive Agreement between Douglas County and Open Technology Solutions. Project file ED 2023-001. Lauren Pulver presenting for staff. Hi, Lauren.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Lauren Pulver, representing Community Development. The document before you is a business personal property tax incentive agreement with Open Technology Solutions, LLC, for 2 locations in Douglas County. The request is represented by Gary Held with Open Technology Solutions, LLC. Open Technology Solutions provides technical support for 3 credit unions in Colorado, Maryland, and New York with over 1 million members. The company relocated from Centennial to 2 facilities in Douglas County. The company currently has 160 full-time employees and anticipates hiring 40 new employees over the next few years. The company has requested a rebate of the county's portion of business personal property tax for their 2 locations in Douglas County. The proposed agreements cover a 10-year period and includes a 100% personal property tax rebate. One agreement is for tax years 2023 to 2032, and the second is for tax years 2024 to 2033. Based on estimated company investments, the total incentive amount over the 10-year term for both agreements is estimated to be $159,685. The applicant The applicant meets general defining characteristics of a new or expanded facility per Colorado Revised Statute, which authorizes local governments to negotiate incentive agreements with businesses. The board may approve the agreements with Open Technology Solutions as they comply with the county approval standards and policies. And Gary Held with Open Technology Solutions is here as well.
Great, thank you, Lauren. Any questions for staff?
I don't have any questions. Lauren, I appreciate you bringing this forward to us. There's obviously a lot of work you did to put this together to bring here and working with this business, so thank you for your time.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Any additional commissioner comment? Okay. Well, and Lauren, again, thank you for this. I think we always appreciate an opportunity to provide tax relief. Sir, again, you're out of order. That's not the order of decorum here. We're asking questions of staff for the Board of County Commissioners. Yes, and I will ask for that, sir. Yep. So again, Lauren, thank you so much for the presentation. Obviously, anytime we can provide tax relief to the citizens, we appreciate that. Would the applicant like to come up and present? Yes, sir.
Summer. We're, as Lauren had indicated, we're just moving right now. We haven't moved our first person yet, but we're working with an interior designer for this building in Jamaica Street, which was previously occupied by a large engineering company whose name escapes me, that was acquired by a much larger engineering company that laid everyone off. So it was sort of like a neutron bomb hit this building. They're still writing on the chalkboards, and we'll start moving people in this facility sometime in mid-April. In fact, we have our first board meeting there in 3 weeks. So we're very excited about moving in there. And in fact, we've hired 12 people since I met with you last July, and we're supporting credit unions, not banks. So when times are flying high, we're not flying quite as high as everyone else. But when there's a reversal in the economy, we're not laying off either. And we've never had a layoff in our almost 23-year history. So anyway, we're very excited about being in the county.
Great, thank you so much. Any questions for the applicant?
I wonder if you're talking about CH2M Hill?
That's it, yes.
I thought that was the building you were going to. Thank you.
Yes.
I have no questions for you. Again, thank you for choosing to do business in our county.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Commissioner Teal, any questions?
No questions.
And sir, we are open for business in Douglas County. Thank you so much for being here. Sorry you had to endure sort of an intense meeting, but that is part of what we do. We appreciate our citizens and their opportunity to speak to us.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you very much. So with that and no additional citizen comment, let me open it up or no additional commissioner comment, let me open it up for citizen comment. Is there any citizen comment with regard to this item 4A? Yes, sir.
I'm still Pete Smith, and as far as I know, I still live in Keene Ranch unless my wife has sold the place. So, you know me, I'm a conservationist, and I'm a little curious as to why we give money to people to come here. This area of Colorado has not met air quality standards for 35 years. You two commissioners have gone to the San Luis Valley looking to bring water up here because we don't have enough water. So why are we providing $160,000 to encourage people to move here? If they want to move here, that's fine, but I don't think you should use taxpayer dollars to do that. So we need to have some control under the growth, as you've heard from other people here today. I've been in this county for, I got to do the math, 44 years now. So, and watched Castle Rock go from 4,700 to almost 80,000. The county's going to kill itself growing this much. You got to do something to slow it down. And one of the things you can do is not provide tax incentives to people to come here. If they want to come here, fine. But they should pay their taxes just like I do. I didn't get tax incentives to come here. Did you? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any additional citizen comment? Any other citizen comment on this item? Okay, seeing none in the room. Is there any citizen comment online, Troy?
Thank you, Commissioner. No online comment.
Okay, thank you, Troy. And with that, I'll close citizen comment and bring it back to the board for any further discussion and or a motion.
So I would just like to address Mr. Smith's question. So municipalities, I believe, have many more tools available for economic development. And the only thing that the county really has to offer is a rebate on business personal property tax. In Douglas County, we already exempt the first $100,000 worth of property that a business has to start. And I think at the state level, it's $7,800. So Douglas County also has taken that additional step to increase that to $100,000 because we want to incentivize business coming here, and we understand they need to have equipment to do their business. So we don't make them pay a tax every year on that property that they have purchased to operate their business here. And so that is the one thing that the county has in their toolbox, and that's what we do, because we understand that if a community is not growing, it is dying, and that business is what comes here and is able to put food on the table and give people jobs. So that happens to be one of the things that I support, and that's why I'm in favor of this proposal.
Additional commissioner comment?
With everything that's gone on, I think it's going to come as a big surprise when I say I actually do agree with Commissioner Thomas. I think her points are salient on this topic. You know, I appreciate, Pete, you and I have had discussions like this before. You know, if CM2 Hill is an empty building, if that is an empty building and there is no business there, the amount of personal property tax being collected by the county is effectively zero. And so I do like this as a method to bring businesses, and more specifically, to bring jobs into the county. I do appreciate your concerns about, you know, actually giving an incentive to bring people in. But again, it's notable to say that this is a business. This is bringing jobs in. This is not inherently building more houses. This is not inherently building more apartments and bringing people in to the county. And we probably could have articulated a little better, and perhaps we should consider doing so in the future. The address. Just due to the fact that a close look at the map will reveal, you know, this is an address that's really on the very northern tier of the county. So we are bringing the jobs into the county, over the county line. It's not necessarily bringing residents in. I'm sure there will be some, and I hope the applicant will consider having employees reside within Douglas County. But inherently, this is bringing jobs in, this is bringing economic activity into the county, which solves some of the fiscal problems that you did mention, Pete. If it pleases the board, I do actually have a motion to approve a business personal property tax incentive agreement between Douglas County and Open Technology Solutions. Project file is ED 2023-001.
Second.
So there's a first and second on the floor. Any further discussion? You know, I will just add that I agree 100% with my fellow commissioners, and I think this is a perfect example of what really happens at the county 99% of the time, where the three of us are in alignment, doing good work, hopefully providing tax relief. And I'm sorry, Pete, if you don't feel like you got enough tax relief, but even for you, I hope we're providing enough incentives and property tax reductions that you will stick around in our county. So with that, is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, and that motion carries. So with that, we'll move to item 4B, which is an employment contract with Jeffrey Allen Garcia, our county attorney-to-be, in the amount of $232,000. Laura Leary presenting for staff. Laura, we just decided to haze Jeff with a little trial by fire this morning. That was all that was, so.
All
right, so Commissioners, good afternoon. Laura Leary for Human Resources staff. We have today in front of you a contract for what is going to be your new county attorney. And I want to talk a little bit about Jeff Garcia. Jeff comes to us with a lot of experience, a lot in civil litigation and insurance experience. He graduated from the University of Colorado with his bachelor's degree and then got his law degree at the University of Denver. And he has been, most recently, as the executive director of the Division of Labor down at the City Auditor's Office, and he has served since 2015 as the executive counsel for the City and County of Denver's Auditor's Office. So with that, I have a contract in front of you for a one-year employment agreement for Mr. Garcia. He is here in the audience today. And if you have any questions for me and or Mr. Garcia, I would welcome those, and I know he would as well.
Well, Jeff, it's not too late to back out. You still want this job? Why don't you come and maybe you can share a little bit about yourself. You bet.
Thank you, Commissioners, for having me, and thank you for the opportunity to be before you looking at a contract. I'm Jeff Garcia. I am currently working as an attorney for the City and County of Denver. I'm a 44-year Colorado native. I was born in southwest Denver, and I'm very familiar with Douglas County. I've spent a great deal of my life here. I'm just excited to join an amazingly great community. Hopefully, we are currently looking to move to Parker, so I want to bring my family here. Not only do I want to serve the community, but I want to be a really big part of it. So, thank you.
Great. Thanks so much, Jeff. Any questions for Jeff?
Nah, you took my question. I was going to ask him, are you sure? Yeah, but it sounds like he's sure. I think we need to make sure we get this one signed and get him to work.
Thank you, Commissioner Teal. Commissioner Thomas?
I have nothing.
Well, Jeff, as a fellow member of the bar and practicing attorney, it is so incredible to have somebody with your acumen and experience and resilience serve as county attorney. We went through a pretty significant process, and we're very thankful to Laura Leary and staff for the opportunity to interview you. So I couldn't be more excited to work with you. Thank you for recognizing the good work that does happen in this county, and that's really not because of us. That's because we have really amazing citizens. So thank you for your willingness to serve them, and we welcome you aboard.
Thank you so much.
Yep, absolutely.
Thank you.
So with that, let me bring it back to the board for and actually before I do that, let me ask if there's any citizen comment on this item 4B. Is there any citizen comment with regard to this contract? Okay, let me ask if there's any citizen comment online.
Thank you, Commissioner. No online comment.
Okay, thank you, Troy. And with that, I'll close citizen comment and bring it back to the board for any further discussion and or a motion.
I have a motion to approve the employment contract for Jeffrey Allen Garcia, County Attorney, in the amount of $232,000.
Well, Jeff, obviously we put you through quite a long process. You had a very competitive field of candidates that you were in competition with, and you came out on top. So, as the chair said, welcome aboard. I look forward to you starting soon, and I will second that motion.
Great. So we have a first and second on the floor. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
I'm opposed, no.
And that passes 2-1. So with that, we will move on to other business. Is there any other business for the board today?
There is no other business.
Okay. With that, we'll move to item 6, our county manager. And county manager has 2 items, the county manager report and then the adopt a road presentation.
Yeah, if Deanne and Julie and Zeke could come up, we'd like to do a quick demo.
All right.
Where's the mouse? Okay.
Looks like we're timed out. Snap.
That's why Michael lives in this room.
That's right.
Can you hear us?
All right, thanks for sticking around and letting us be with you today. So my name is Deanne Stevenson. I'm our traffic engineering and operations specialist for our traffic division.
And I'm Julie Barrett. I'm a GIS analyst with Public Works Department.
So as county employees, we all wear multiple hats. One of mine is to manage our Adopt a Road program, which was established over 25 years ago. The Adopt a Road program is a partnership between our Public Works Department and our citizens. It provides volunteer opportunities for citizens who are focused on improving motorist safety and preserving a clean environment by eliminating roadside litter. Participation in the program has been steady, with many groups renewing each year. However, the program has seen little growth since its inception. When I first started with the county, I wasn't quite sure what managing this program would be, but I can tell you what it looked like. So I inherited a heavy 3-ring binder, mail agreements for our adoptions, and the binder was just barely able to close. It was just stuffed full of this great history. So it even entailed a lovely clip art brochure for it. So we also had multiple Excel databases with our Adopt a Road information. So it was a little bit of a nightmare.
I remember that binder, you showed it to me, and that's when we both decided that we could find a better solution to replace that binder.
And that's exactly what we've done. We took that 3-ring binder in those Excel sheets, and we developed our brand new Adopt a Road website. So it was built to reinvigorate the program and was made accessible both on desktop and mobile. So it's our first launch of it being a truly digital platform.
Let's take a look.
Let's do it.
With the creation of this new website and its supporting features, the benefits are endless. By building this on a digital platform and leveraging technology, we have increased efficiency to our workflow and streamlined the administration process. The GIS platform by Esri is the backbone of this website, and it integrates with Microsoft and Adobe to fully automate the communication between our volunteers, our applicants, and also the execution of the adoption agreement. The Adopt a Road website was developed in-house with existing technology the county already has, meaning that no additional development costs were incurred.
We are already seeing the fruits of our labor pay off, receiving accolades from our existing adoptions who were given a sneak peek of the website prior to it being announced to the public. They have expressed their excitement of the updates to the program and without hesitation have agreed to renew it another year with us. The momentum doesn't stop there. We are working with our communication partners within the county to inform both our internal and external audiences of our new and improved Adopt a Road program. And with this combined effort, we have already received 10 applications within the last 2 weeks. To give that perspective, In the 3 years that I have worked this program, we have averaged at best 3 adoptions a year. I encourage you all to take a look at the website and visit it and ask any questions as you have them. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for that presentation. Any questions for staff?
So is it Deanne or Deanna?
Good question. Deanne.
Deanne. So you said that there are 3 adoptions a year. So obviously with this, you're hoping to get more. Is that right?
Well, I don't know if that's what I'm hoping. That's what it's going to be set up to be. We have streamlined the process for the administration, but with this being visible now, there is a good momentum coming towards our increasing.
So do you know how many roads we have adopted right now?
Well, we do.
Was I not paying attention?
Our adoption stats, we have 59 segmented roads. So a segment could be anywhere from 1 mile to 3 miles of road. And so we do have some adoptees that have a couple different segments. So there's on average about 50 active adoptions right now, but we have 59 already going.
So there's still a lot more roads that people can come get on this website and look around and adopt more roads.
Absolutely. So we have an interactive map as in real time. So if the map is showing that it's red, it will actually show who our adoption family is or business or any individual. If it's available, it will be in green and it will take you to your online application. And if it's pending, to make my life easier and not having to play referee on who gets what road, it automatically will put it in to a pending status if someone's already filled out an application. So that happens automatically without any extra steps for me, I guess. So.
Well, good. Thank you for that information. And Julie, when you were talking, I actually thought it was part of the video that was playing because you did such a great job. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Additional questions for staff?
No questions. I got a crash course in the program last week, and let's see if we can put out some good positive calls for action to the community. I mean, we still got 50 roads that still need a little bit of love. Let's see if we could find some folks who want to get out there and help keep Douglas County beautiful.
We appreciate the support. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You bet. And I'll just add, we've had some conversations around how communities internationally actually gather to do significant cleanups. And in some European countries, they actually will have large coffees and get-togethers, and then they all go out into the community on a volunteer basis and just help to clean up. So we're really hoping to do more along that line and continue to keep Douglas County clean and healthy. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. County Manager, anything additional?
Nothing further, thank you.
Okay, well, thank you very much. And then with that, we'll move on to commissioner comments. Are there any commissioner comments?
None from me, sir.
I have none, thank you.
And I have none either. The next business meeting will be held on Tuesday, March 28th, 2023 at 1:30 p.m. We are going to recess for about 5 minutes, and then we'll get reset for our land use and public hearing. Thank you very much.